Hi there, Nigel from McGill Music here. Today I want to have a quick chat with you about major scales. Now, it sounds boring, I know, but you know what? The thing is, major scales, or scales in general, are really important because they're the foundation of all music that we play. Doesn't matter what style, pop, classical, jazz, smooth jazz, blues, anything that you play in music is based on scales. They're kind of like the building blocks. So it's really important when you're just getting started playing to have an understanding of how these scales work and how they're made, and also be able to play up and down them, because if you can play your scales, then you're going to find that those patterns that you've practiced with your scales are going to turn up time and time again in music. So just getting started with scales, the first step, the first port of call if you like, is major scales. Now there's loads of different ways you can think about major scales, but a way that I find makes a lot of sense, to me at least, then I'm Australian so who knows, is to think about them in terms of their structure with regards to tones and semitones. So like whole steps in music and half steps. So if we look at a G major scale to get started with, and I'll tell you what, there's a PDF that you can download from mcgillmusic.com that's got this lesson on it, and it's going to outline the stuff that we're talking about today. So you might want to download that and then use it as a bit of a reference for now, and also when you're practicing. So let's look at major scales and their structure. The G major scale as a starting point. Now, a lot of you probably already know a G major scale, but if you're just getting started, G major scale, it starts on G, and it goes all the notes from G up to G an octave above, but it's got an F sharp in there. So it's the notes of G, A, B, C, and then up to D with the octave key on the back, E, F sharp with the middle finger on the right hand, and then G again. Now if we look at the structure of that scale, it actually, in terms of tones and semitones, the G major scale goes up as does every major scale. G to A is a tone, A to B is a tone, B to C is a semitone. Then we have another tone going up to D, another tone to E, another tone to F sharp, and finally a semitone to go to G. So if we look at that pattern, it's tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That is the pattern of every major scale. So if you can think about that pattern, you can work out any major scale, really. That's like the recipe, that's the formula, the magic formula for major scales. So if you have a look at the PDF, it's got the notes written down, it's got the fingering for the F sharp as well. The best way to get started with your scales really is to take the first, maybe a G major scale, 2 or 3 other scales as well, just to get started, and practice playing up and down really slowly so that you get all those notes right and you get your fingers used to playing that pattern. So if you've got that PDF handy, let's try playing through that G major scale right now. So remember, when you get to F, it's got F sharp, okay, instead of the normal F, not normal F with the first finger, it's F sharp with the middle finger. So starting on G, here we go. And if we go back down again, so there's your first scale, G major scale. Good luck with the G major scale, and I hope you can find a few minutes to have a look at the other major scales in that PDF as well. If you get those under your fingers, practice going up and down, then it'll really help you out when you're playing other tunes. And maybe another thing to think about just at the moment is have a listen to other music when you're listening to it on the radio or on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, or even if you're playing other pieces of music in your lessons, have a listen and see if you can spot where those scales are, because let me tell you, they're everywhere. Good luck with that, and check out the other lessons at mcgillmusic.com. There's loads of other good stuff on there that I hope you'll find useful. And good luck with your saxophone journey.